What's up, horse racing fans? Welcome to another episode of the Inside Post. Today, we will be bringing you the opener for the spring meet at Keeneland for Friday, April 7th, 2023. We will handicap races 6 through 10, giving you our best bets, our next step contenders, and one long shot play for each of the races in the later card. These races 6 through 10 should give us the late pick five, and we will help you structure your late pick five ticket. We also will be handicapping the Bluegrass Stakes, the Wood Memorial, and the Santa Anita Derby later on the channel. So make sure you subscribe so you get notifications sent directly to your phone, laptop, or iPad for when we post our next Kentucky Derby prep video. All right, so let's dive into this Keeneland card for their spring opener meet. Starting with race 6, we have going 5.5 furlongs on the turf, an allowance race for fillies and mares. We are going with our top pick of Coffee Maker, currently sitting at 6-5 as the odds were just released for this race, as we are handicapping on a Wednesday in this race, not till Friday. The post times are the post positions are not posted on here, but if you just basically count in from 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 is what Coffee Maker should be, and post 8 or number 8. So Coffee Maker being our top pick for Wesley Ward and Johnny V, winning last time out in a $100,000 ish non-winners of one allowance race. Finished third in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. Was beat out by Twilight Gleaming. This horse was a big price in there at 24-1 and just came in third to round out the trifecta. Also ran in the Indian Summer at Keeneland on a good turf course back in October as well. Finished second in there behind Everly Jane. And then third again in the juvenile sprint. I believe this one was at Kentucky Downs, finishing third there with Johnny V aboard also. So a good one coming in here that has ran in graded stakes races in her past few starts and two graded stakes races in her past few starts, and then kind of coming back, getting back into the swing of things, running in an allowance, trying another allowance in here of non-winners of 2, I do believe. So now, second pick, we are going with Her World, Irish bred horse, another Wesley Ward. This one gets Irad Ortiz aboard, currently sitting at 3-1. Horse is 2-1 so far in 2023 with a February start. I believe this was at Turfway Park. Her last 2 starts, however, have been at Turfway Park. So coming back in here, getting on the turf, shouldn't see any issues there going from synthetic to turf. However, she did run in a little lesser class of an allowance race last time out compared to Coffee Maker. So interesting to see what she does. She does have some speed numbers comparable to Coffee Maker in here. Kind of the reason I went with my second choice. And third pick, going back to the inside, I don't have the odds on there. I do apologize. I believe it was 8-1 or 10-1 on Frozen Solid with Kevin Krieger and Brian Lynch. This Frosted filly won both of her last starts, an optional claiming, and broke her maiden at the 70K level. Comes in posting 2 of her best career speed figures so far in 2023. Seems to be a horse that is on the right track, trending in the right direction right now, going into her 2003 or 4-year-old season. Should be interesting to see what this one will do. This was one that I'm going to use to round out my trifectas. Probably going to leave her off of my pick 4 or my pick 5 ticket in here, as I believe this is a 2-horse race with Her World and Coffee Maker, the 2 Wesley Ward trains. However, it is Keeneland. If you have a little bit deeper pockets and want a deeper structured ticket, Frozen Solid may not be a bad one to rope in with the other 2. All right, moving on. Race 7, we got the Lafayette. So the first stakes race for Keeneland in their spring meet. First one on the card, going $400,000. 7 furlongs on the dirt. And I'm going right off the rail or right off the inside as my top pick in Gulfport at 7-2 currently. Um, Watch this horse last outing in the Champagne, a grade one, and the Hopeful. Was beat in the Hopeful by Kentucky Derby favorite, Kentucky Derby leader Forte. Was beat in the Champagne by Blazing Sevens and Verifying a very good horse that is running this weekend for Kentucky Derby points as well. Um, a horse that likes to get to the lead or set right off the lead, maybe press a little bit coming in here, I believe is what this horse will try to do. Just looking at his lifetime record at 5-2, 2-1, 336,000, career best 91 speed figure. Um, the horse has been in some big races and has hit the board in each of his 5 starts. Um, Steve Asmussen knows horses better than anyone, has put in 2 really great works back on March 25th and March 18th. Um, Looks really good coming in here off a pretty decent layoff. Second, going with Hijazi, Bob Baffert, and Johnny V, probably the favorite in this race, and probably will be the favorite as it goes forward at 8-5 currently. Another one, 5 starts, has hit the board in each one of those starts. Third in the American Pharaoh, grade one, was beat out by Cave Rock, National Treasure. The other Bob Baffert trainees finished fourth in the San Felipe, a grade two stakes race in his last outing back on March 4th. So comes in here off of a little bit of short rest, not compared to the top pick, but definitely gets a really good jockey with Johnny Velasquez. Has been the only horse in this field that has posted a triple digit buyer. However, that was back in September um, when the horse, no, it did not break its maiden. When the horse was trying to break its maiden in an $82,000 maiden, posting that 1-0 speed figure, and then has kind of been steady in the 90s. I think this horse will get to the lead, but definitely will be challenging for Hijazi and Gulfport coming in here. If these two get out to the lead, look for some type of crazy pace scenario to just melt down, and it's kind of a toss up on who could sneak in for the win. I'm going to use Corona Bolt as that third pick horse that could sneak in for the win. Um, Another horse that likes the lead or has won from the lead in wiring the field. This horse will be 5-2 currently on the morning line for Brad Cox. Gets flow. Ront Giroux aboard, has 3 wins in his 4 starts. An allowance at $103,000 claimer, or yes, claiming allowance last out. Grade 3 Southwest did not do very well. Just did not have anything left or anything in the tank. It was a sloppy course, but has performed really well on the fast surfaces. Um, it's half to turf stakes winner proven strategy. Again, the only loss coming on a sloppy track against Arabian Night. Again, I think this horse could go to the lead. Also, with the other 2 horses, I think this is going to be who's going to get to the lead, who's going to dictate that pace. All 3 of these horses, I think, want the lead. Hopefully Corona Bolt lets those other 2 horses go out and battle each other, and then kind of puts in a late run at the end. Again, this is a smaller field in the Lafayette. I really didn't put in a long shot pick. Um, One that could be considered if you are that type of better would be Lugan Knight for Mike McCarthy. Probably not going to be huge odds, but probably in the single digits, around 7-10 odds on the board. Race 8, we have the Transylvania Grade 3 going on the turf. This is for 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th. Probably one of the better races on the card for Friday, the opener. I'm going with the other Irish bred, or another Irish bred, in Carl Spackler, a lightly raced horse coming in here, trying the Keeneland turf for the first time for Chad Brown and Tyler Gaffleone. Has ran at a mile and a mile 16th. However, finished second in a mile and 16th on his first career start. Has posted some pretty good workouts back on April 1st. That kind of set this horse up to be somewhat of the favorite or close enough as the favorite come post time. Um, Looking again at speed figures, it has posted one of the better speed figures in its career. However, it only has 2 starts, but also has one of the best speed figures of the field coming into this race. My second pick is going to be just to the inside, a little bit higher odds horse here with Joel Rosario in Candidate at 10-1 currently. I'm a big fan of the Exaggerator sires. So that's kind of why I'm throwing this one in here. That's just my personal opinion of why I'm using this horse. Also, the last 2 starts, the Kitten's Joy and the Dania Beach, $100,000 in a grade 3 stakes race, finished first and second. If you look at this horse's career stats, 5-3-1. The only time it was off the board was in its maiden at Laurel Park, again on a sloppy track. Seems to be a horse that likes the turf. At either distance, has won at a mile 16th, has won at a mile. The only question I guess you could knock the horse for is what's it going to do on the Keeneland turf? Because some of the horses have a hard time adjusting, it seems like, to the Keeneland turf, or it's a little bit different than the Gulfstream turf that Candidate is used to running on. So I think this is a good one here at a good price of 10-1. Kind of interesting. Tyler Gafflin gets off of this one. Joel Rosario gets aboard. So he's usually one definitely to book with turf courses. The horse has beat and been beaten by Major Dude, who was also on the Kentucky Derby Trail, but did not perform very well in his last outing. So we will see at 10-1 what Candidate can do. Next, we have Dude in Colorado, a British bred horse for Todd Pletcher, getting Irad aboard. Winner of the Colonel Liam $200,000 stakes race at Gulfstream Park, going a mile last time out. Beat out some of the other competition in here in Web Slinger. Has ran against Candidate and finished third behind him as well. Another one that seems to be trending in the right direction. Pretty good work out back on March 31st. Seems to be improving in the speed department as well. And a horse that looks to want the lead or needs the lead. I think this could be a tough gate break for Dude in Colorado coming from the outside, but I think with Irad aboard, he's definitely going to be able to get out and get over to get to that inside and get the lead and dictate the pace. Long shot, I'm going back to the inside. Wonderful Justice with Brad Cox. This is the other British bred horse. This gets Florent Giroux, another lighter raced horse coming in here. 2 for 2 so far in his lifetime, 2 for 2 in 2023. So both starts in 2023, coming off a shorter ish rest last time out in March. Fourth, won the Black Gold Stakes, a $75,000 stakes race at Fairgrounds, going a mile and 16th on the turf. At 12-1, I like this horse. I will rope it in here with my pick 5 ticket as a decent long shot to help out with the pick 5 cost. Race 9, we have the Ashland, a grade 1 stakes race here, going a mile and 16th on the dirt. Top pick, really, really tough race in here of what I wanted my top pick to be. I'm going to go with Wonder Wheel. I know the last outing finished second, did not do what some of the other people thought, but I think this horse is is really good. Um, and I think one that could be considered a top or a favorite going into the Kentucky Oaks. Um, Again, she's really not done anything wrong. She's finished first or second in all 6 starts. She has 4 wins. She's earned 1.5 mil. The biggest thing is if speed is on her side. She is out of Intimicious. The speed is there, and I think that's just something that's going to come with age. I bet we see the career best speed figure out of her on Friday. Um, she has ran at Keeneland before. She's 2 for 2. Of course, it was in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and the Alciobide. 2 grade 1 victories right now. I mean, 3 grade 1s altogether in her career. So a horse that I think is a good pick in here. Next, I'm going with Punch Bowl. I think this could be a 2-horse race between her and Wonder Wheel. Again, one that's stepping up in class, trying grade 1. company for the first time. Flavion Pratt, Brad Cox. This one out of Uncle Mo has the speed figures, has a little bit higher speed figure than Wonder Wheel, an 89 compared to the lower 80s. Again, another horse that I think cracks her career best coming in here as well. Put in a pretty good piece of work back on March 25th. Looks to be in great shape. And Brad Cox has this one primed and ready to go. On the deeper tickets, if you want to use Julia Shining, she will be my third pick at 3-1. Third in the Suncoast, first in the Des Moines, which is a grade 2 stakes race. Again, she was beat out by Wonder Wheel, finishing second in that Suncoast. Again, one that I think will again set her career best speed figures coming into here, as all of these horses are getting better. And it's just kind of which one is in better shape or which one will take that bigger step forward. Julia Shining is a full sister to Malathat, who won this race last year. So that's something to consider. She's put in two really good bullet workouts, March 16th and March 9th, to take note of. But again, she's going to have to take a bigger step than these other two if she would want to win this race. Long shot, I'm going to the inside of Pride of the Nile. I really think this is a two-horse race. You throw in Julia Shining, there's not much room for a trifecta or a big trifecta price. I'm hoping Pride of the Nile kind of plays a spoiler in that second place, third place finish. She's had 6 races, finished 1, 2, and finished second. So she's been on the board 4 out of the 6 times. However, she has ran in 2 graded stakes races and kind of hit or missed, finishing second and finishing fifth. She will travel from Santa Anita, so that's kind of always something to indicate that she's shipping in, so to speak. So that could be interesting to see what happens here. She did put a pretty good workout in on March 23rd on the Keeneland track. So that's always a good indicator there. And one, like I said, I'm going to try to use on my exactas and trifectas. Rounding it out, we have going a mile and an eighth on a turf, maiden special weight for fillies. Um, Wrapping up our pick 5 ticket in here. Top pick going with Haystack, a horse that's kind of fresh, coming off a pretty good layoff. Last race, January 22nd, on the Gulfstream Park turf. Comes in here for Tyler Gaffney, Owen, and Chad Brown, looking to break her maiden. She is out of Warfront, so pretty good. Sire on top, posting a pretty good speed figure 72 last time out, career best, and hopefully she can improve on that. I like the 4-1 price. I don't think she will be that come post time, and I'm okay with that. Um, but I think this one is one that's really in good form, uh, and is one that's going to be flying coming from the back late. So don't throw your tickets away. She will be flying late, as that's kind of her running style to come from the back. Second pick, going with Doral or Doral with Wilmot and Junior Alvarado. I've been beat several times by Junior Alvarado on the turf with the Wilmot connection, so I'm using it. I'm throwing it in there. I wish he was a little bit higher price, 3-1, but I get it. 2 for 2 or 2-0-2 in her maidens, at 70K, finishing second in both of those. Again, another horse that's put in 2 really good workouts back on March 30th and March 21st. Comes in here looking to break her maiden, obviously. Both times 75 speed figures. Again, one that is kind of higher or with the highest of the field in here. Her dam has won multiple grade 1s on the grass. One that's coming from Gulfstream Park, just like some of these other ones are. I believe this one will be there at the end, and I'm definitely one to use. Next, going with Little Miss Moonlight, a little bit better priced horse in here for Timothy Hammond, getting Irad. Has been running in lower maiden special weights, the 29K area. Put in a pretty good workout on the Tampa Bay turf, comes in from Tampa Bay. Kind of with some big, not really big odds, but hasn't really fired through on the winner's circle, finishing second in all 3 of her career starts. Could be interesting to see what Irad is able to do. It seems like it's always one that's missed at the end, or that's usually late as a running style and it can never get up in time or runs out of room. So it'll be interesting to see what Irad does if he sets this horse a little bit closer to the pace and knows when to let her run. And lastly, Costabella. This horse is making her first start out of Justify. Justify has 12 or is 12 for 67 with his debuters, 6 for 34 with the first time's turfers. So definitely one I'm going to throw in here and use. Ed Kennedy with Luis Saez. About average workouts compared to some of the other runners in here. Interesting enough, making its first start on the grass, one out of Justify again at 15-1. I'm hoping for a big price because I feel like some of these early races may be a little more chalky. Um, so if you have an extra dollar or two to throw in some more, Idle Chatter is another interesting one. Another one that's out of Justify, making her second start on the turf. Finished second last time out in a $70,000 maiden, so should make some improvements there. Finished second in her first start. So Idle Chatter, Costabella, Haystack, and Little Miss Moonlight with Doral if you are into the little further more money or deeper pockets that you want to spend on your pick fours or pick fives. So there's our pick for the opener, the spring opener at Keeneland with the Ashland of Grade 1 Kentucky Oaks prep. We are taking Wonder Wheel with Punch Bowl in here as our top two picks. We hope that you have a great betting Friday at all the tracks. Make sure to check out down below. We will post our full card for Keeneland on our blog website, and we have some merchandise links down below to check out if you would like some Kentucky Derby swagger. So make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Let us know in the comments your best bet for Friday, April 7th at Keeneland for the opener. Thanks.